So when a team is in crisis is an opportunity for the leader to be reflective, to sort of look in the mirror and ask what personal deficiency are contributing to the crisis within his team. Because the leader is a connecting dot between the resources, the skills, and everything within the team or the organization. So a reflective leader is a leader who allows crisis to grow him, and lack of commitment within a team should trigger a leader to look in the mirror. So in the last session, we spoke about how trust is at the core of the psychology of commitment. So if any leader at any level is having crisis, and that crisis can be linked to commitment, the first concern is not to look at others, but to look at themselves. When we talk about trust, we sort of imagine that it's some sort of abstract concept, but it's not. Trust is an experience that is reached through both logical and the emotional side of our brain. So trust is sort of like an investment we make in ourselves, and then we communicate this investment to others. So to be able to improve both personal and collective trust quotient of her team, a leader must first understand the two fundamental principles that guide trust quotient. So the first one is that trust quotient is how much trust we can earn because of how much effort we put into being trustworthy. Trust quotient is how much trust we can earn because of how much effort we put into being trustworthy. So going to school to earn your proficiency certificate in your area of expertise, and going on leadership courses, ensuring you master how to deploy the software and solutions in your department, dressing up for the occasion, knowing how to show up as a leader as a result of your physical appearance, and continual attitude development, and gaining appropriate social and self-awareness. All these are the effort that you as a leader are putting into being trustworthy. So these are personal effort and investments you're making in yourself. And any leader who fails in this first regard should honestly consider taking a step back, because this first principle is a very foundation of trust. Because people want to see that the leaders are putting enough personal effort and investment into being trustworthy. Nobody wants to follow a leader who is not making personal investments. We want to know that our leaders are continually committing themselves to winning others over by investing in themselves. So the starting point of trust is a leader investing trust in himself. And by the way, the amount of trust that you can invest in yourself as a leader is an attestation of the potential quality of your leadership and how much commitment your team will be eager to invest in you. But the problem is that this first principle is easier to implement, and it focuses on self, and this is where most leaders actually stop. They hardly ever proceed to the next principle of trust quotient, which I want to talk about next. So the second principle shifts the focus from the leader to the team. It shifts where and how the investment of trust needs to be made. And it's a lot harder, but without it, the journey towards trust building and commitment is to no avail. So the number two principle of trust quotient is how much trust we can earn because of how much effort we put into helping other people trust themselves. How much trust we can earn because of how much effort we put into helping other people to trust themselves. So this second principle shifts the focus of trust investment from the leader to the team, because it's not enough for a leader to invest trust in herself alone. She needs to go further than that, to invest trust in others that work on her team. This is creating a strong trust culture that cuts across the entire operation. So it's in the combination of both principles, the first and the second one, that show that a leader has adequate trust quotient and he can institute trust culture in his team. So a leader who wants to deploy the second principle must know to encourage others. Now, encouragement goes beyond just positive words. It's because if you look at the word encouragement, it's in two parts. The N, which means to cover with, and courage. So the word encourage means to cover with courage. It means to cover someone with courage. So you can cover another person with what you don't have or what you don't know how to get. And that's why the first principle of trust quotient is fundamental. It helps the leader to build necessary courage and resources that he can use to stand in for others in his team. So to encourage others would mean to understand their weak points and then come to the drawing table with them to strategize how to overcome this weak point. Or you can help deploy resources and relationships on their behalf to overcome those weak points. So this means that a leader must be present enough. He needs to be able to know the strength and the weakness of his team and must be empathetic enough to be willing to reinforce them in their areas of strength and encourage them in the areas of their weakness. So a leader that does this is on the path to winning the trust of his people, because leadership is about support. Another way a leader can employ the second principle is to help his team members to grow their esteem and confidence. You see, beyond duties, a leader's role is the role of a builder. And when a leader commits to the areas that are very personal to his people and is genuinely concerned and building his people in this regard, it's so natural to want to see that the leader also succeeds in the things that matter to him. You see, we are humans and we are motivated differently. A leader who needs to improve his trust quotient must understand what motivates his people. But you can't know that unless you understand their personality types. Each personality type has its own unique motivational style. And a leader must know the personality type of the people, of the individuals on his team, and make assessment as to what motivates them. And now he can employ that motivation as a reward system for the people. See, you want to remember that as a leader, your trust quotient is judged by how much effort you put into being trustworthy and how much effort you put into helping others trust themselves. You see, commitment is the bridge between the potentials in your team and the result you hope to get. And trust can help you facilitate that commitment. But do you know you can be trustworthy and not be trusted? And what's the difference between being trustworthy and being trusted? And how does this affect commitment? And what can you be doing right now to make sure that you secure the commitment of the people that work with you? That will be our focus in the next video.